Hey, viewers, George here to do a personal talking bit on Wayward Manor. I heard about this game, I want to say like a month ago maybe, but it could have been 2 months ago. I heard about it for a little while. Uh, Mainly because Neil Gaiman, the guy who wrote Coraline and the Sandman graphic novel, or comic graphic novels, and multiple other fantastic reads, was going to write a story for this game. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I really like his work. You know, it's always really interesting to read, and he has like a different perspective on the very gothic horror tones, essentially. Um, he's like Tim Burton, if better. Not that I have a problem with Tim Burton, but I like him. But you know, point being, I love Neil Gaiman's work. Uh, except for that one Batman story he did. Anyways, getting off topic there. Um, so yeah, I heard he was writing the story for this, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I'll definitely look at it. Game comes out, I give it a try, and wow, do I ever have mixed feelings about this game? And apparently everyone else does too. So at least I'm not alone on that. Well, to bring perspective to this, usually I don't look at reviews that people post, but I looked at the negative and positives, like how many negative and positive reviews were given on the Steam comment section for this game, and they're very mixed. Like, there's a lot of negatives and a couple of positives, so it's very jumbled up essentially. So, what is this game? Essentially, you play as a ghost, and you have to try and scare this family out of the Wayward Manor, and that is the game. And I mean, there's tons of games out there that do that. You know, I'm trying to find. Oh, there's Haunting, starring Poltergeist. Is it really Poltergeist? It is. Okay, Haunting starring Poltergeist that was on like the Sega Genesis. There's Ghostmasters that's on the computer. And of course, there's a bunch of other games that have tried the similar concept, where you play as a ghost and you're trying to scare people and whatnot. And it's a fantastic concept. I love it. It always is. Of a couple games I've played that use this concept, it's always been a lot of fun, and like it's been a different kind of game perspective, because usually you play as the hero trying to get rid of the ghost, but in this one it's the other way around. It's always so much fun. So I was really excited to see someone like Neil Gaiman writing for this game, and the writing is okay. What you can hear of it, of course. The game. Okay, so I should probably explain what I mean by that. The game has a couple of options, obviously, where you can have it in full screen and mess with the screen resolution, standard fare. And then for audio, you can toggle the music and the sound effects to how high or low you want to hear it, or how loud rather. But it doesn't. It seems like no matter how you set it up, it's always really fucking loud, which means the music overpowers Neil Gaiman's narration during a lot of it, and anytime you do get a chance to hear it, you really don't know what he's. You just have to kind of grab the gist of what he's talking about from obviously what's the game's going on and whatnot, because you don't get to hear everything, and that's a huge disappointment, because that is one of the reasons why I bought the game, was because of Neil Gaiman and his writing and the fact that he's narrating it. Like, listening to him talk is fucking amazing. But so you don't get to hear any of it really, because it just gets shrouded by the music. Could have just been something I had a problem with. I've never had a problem with that with any other game where like the audio settings just did not work. So that was really unfortunate, but what little I could piece together and what I could hear, it sounded pretty good. And the game's story, through playing it, works for it. It's nothing you haven't seen before, where, once again, you play as a ghost and you're trying to get them out of the house. The only big difference is that there's a a who's-done-it mystery, apparently. But it doesn't really come across like that at all in the game. Maybe it does in the cutscenes where you could hear Neil Gaiman talking, but unfortunately couldn't really hear him because the music was just overpowering uh, the vocal track, which is really unfortunate. Gameplay. Here's the important thing. The Oddly enough, it advertises that it's supposed to be a non-linear narrative puzzle adventure game. It really is only a puzzle game. I'm trying to think of other examples. It's essentially like if you ever played games like for some reason I was gonna say Goof Troop minus the walking around aspect of it, kind of like that, where you try to defeat the enemies by like pushing barrels into them and whatnot, and just having stuff happen. But essentially in this game, each level is a room, and you have to trigger various events to try and scare the people in the room to get them out. So by having various almost Rube Goldberg-esque things happen, where like not too much in a sense, but like if someone were to shoot an arrow and you have it bounce off shields, so that way it comes and hits them in the ass again, like things like that. That you have to cause like various little reactions to happen. Another instance is where you have to try and push a dinner cart that has water or some sort of drinkable liquid in it, and as the cart goes by, you have to try and draw booze in it, so that way when the person drinks it, they get drunk, and you can embarrass them, which apparently scares them. It's a very bizarre fear, I guess. But you have to do various little things like that, and the game works for the most part. I had a couple of times where the level froze on me, and I had to restart it, which is really annoying. But yeah, the game works, and so does the various mechanics. But it's just too easy, and I expected that in the earlier levels, obviously, because you're trying to learn the game and whatnot. But as the game went on, right till the end, it maintains a steady difficulty of just being very easy, and there's no setting to make it difficult. There's no game plus mode where like the puzzles are harder this time or something like that. It's just freaking easy, and that wouldn't be a huge problem if it wasn't for the fact the game's also extremely short. You could complete this game very quickly, within like an hour for sure. If you play it like straight through, for sure you can beat it in an hour. That's how easy these puzzles are. There's like 5 chapters and like 7 puzzles in each of them, and each one doesn't take you that long. I mean, it's just like once you start figuring out what they want you to do, you put them together and whatnot. It's so the game's easy, and it's extremely short. You can barely hear the story and the narration being handed to you, which is like the big selling point of this game. The fact that they're like, Neil Gaiman is working on this game. It's his first forte into the industry. And you barely get to experience it. The story doesn't really come through too well during the gameplay moments. It's really during the cutscenes where it works the best, and it's up front. Beyond that, there is really nothing else to comment on about this game. It froze a few times, like I said, in a few levels, but all I had to do was pause it and restart the level again, and it fixed itself. So it wasn't anything hugely game-breaking. It just, like, I had to take an extra 5 minutes to go through it. And that's another thing. This game, oddly enough, although it's easy, it's quick to get through, and it's an easy game, it does feel very slow paced, especially during like the very end. I don't want to spoil it in case you really want to play this game, but when you get to the end, during the end part, it's one of those things where you have to wait for the timing to be perfect for like the events to occur to solve the puzzle, and it's just like, this is, I shouldn't have to wait for this. There should be like a thing that triggers it, but there isn't, and it just it's just like one thing to make the game a little bit longer, really. Um, yeah, that's the game. I guess it's comment on the art style. It's very Tim Burton-y, which is a very bizarre thing to say for some reason, but it has that kind of feel to it. If you've seen like the movie Coraline, it kind of looks like that, but a little more cartoony. Um, if that makes any sense. Um, and yeah, would I recommend this game? I would say certainly give it a try, but here's the big thing: the game costs like $10, and I would not buy it at $10. I wait for like a Steam sale to cheapen it up, maybe at $5 or something like that, because it is a very short game. It's a very easy game to get through, but if you can get a chance to listen to Neil Gaiman freaking narrate his story, it's always a pleasure to listen to him talk. But of course, you could probably just look up a YouTube video for that if you really want to. The only thing I really have to say is I hope this doesn't discourage Neil Gaiman into taking another shot at working in the video game industry, because he is a fantastic storyteller. There is no doubt about that. If you've read anything, like if you read Coraline, if you've read, the couple times he's done a take on Batman, or if you read Sandman, which is a fantastic comic, like if you've read anything from him, he's a very good storyteller. And I just think he didn't really put 100% into this, because, like I said, what little I gathered from what I could hear from him, from the cutscenes and what you get from the gameplay, the story is nothing special. It's just the fact that he wrote it and that he narrates it once again. That really is the big selling point of this game, and it's the huge highlight of said game. Beyond that, there is really nothing special about this game, and it's very unfortunate. I really wanted to be like, this is cool that he's gone into this industry and it worked really well, but unfortunately it hasn't. And I really hope the next time he goes into it, we get much more from it, because he can do better. I just think, the big problem was that just where they went with it limitates a lot what you can do with it. I mean, it's like, okay, we're making a game where you are the ghost and you're in a mansion and you're trying to get the people out of the mansion. There's not much in the way of story you can do with that. Like what they did with it, it works, because like I said, I don't want to try and ruin anything. If you really want to play this and you really want to get involved with the story, but what they did with it definitely is different from any of the other games that are within the same genre where you play the ghost. So in that respect, he put a twist on it, but this probably sounds very jumbled up, but trust me on this. The gameplay is easy. It's short. It's slow paced in places. The highlight, of course, is Neil Gaiman, his writing, his narration. Beyond that, it's not worth the $10. Wait for it to go on sale. And with that all said and done, until next time, keep on gaming.